Jump over to this story today, SamAnt. We got a new development in the Tekashi 6ix9ine case. Now, we talked about last week the possibility of him being sentenced on January the 20th, 2020. But now his request has went through. The judges now are saying that they're going to sentence him on December the 18th, a few days before Christmas. Another development came out. Lawyers for Justice individual has been working closely with the Tekashi 6ix9ine case, released a statement today. I'm going to play the video for the people on YouTube and the podcast, and we're going to talk about this, SamAnt.
Sentencing has been set for December 18th at 10 a.m. in the Southern District of New York. About 2 weeks prior to that, look for the government to issue their sentencing recommendation, where they will most likely recommend time served. Thus far, Judge Engelmeyer has given a sentence to all of the defendants somewhere in between what the government has recommended and what the defense has recommended. In this case, government and defense are both probably going to recommend time served, and I fully expect 6ix9ine to get time served. He'll probably get out later that day. Stay tuned.
Lawyers for Justice right there saying that the defense is pretty much going to recommend that Tekashi be released with time served. This guy's thinking that he's going to get time served. SamAnt, what is your reaction to Tekashi possibly coming home before Christmas?
Now, I heard your reaction when you heard this initially, and he literally screamed. He was crazy. I don't know if y'all seen the beginning or listened to the beginning of the podcast. I know this probably will be on YouTube. I'm not surprised, though. I heard a couple of days ago that they were pushing for this, that he was pushing for trying to get his sentencing sent or pushed early in 2019 as opposed to 2020 January, I believe it was originally. He was trying to get it earlier, and that's so he can go and put time served and get out and get back to his foolishness. And at this point, why would we be surprised that this won't happen? This will happen, and that he'll be back to his foolishness. And dare I ask you, after you go ahead on what you're going to say, was he the Fed the whole time? Because we talked about this.
I said it. I mean, we said it months ago. People went back to our old commentary because of the way that he was moving, the way he was doing things. And now it seems like if this is true, he's almost given immunity from even the things that he was caught doing. This is unprecedented to see him. Now, I will go on record to say, yes, I think that he was some type of informant, working hand in hand with the government the whole time. I think it probably started early on in his career, when he pretty much gained entry into the non-trade bloods. I think at that point, maybe that they seen him doing crimes or whatnot, and they wanted to find a way in the organization. And he was one of the people, I think, who better than to have him in there. I don't know about his success. I think that was pretty much organic, even though he did hook up with DJ Academics, and he had a lot of credit for his success on his channel, posting and promoting his videos. But yeah, I could say that. I mean, either way you look at it, he's an informant. But my thing is even bigger is now I'm gonna be honest. I want to see this dude come out. I want to see him be a spectacle. I want to see him talk shit on the camera, go in on people, invite people to his private part. I want to see this because I want to see if these dudes that talk all this mess are really going to follow through with all the stuff. All these rappers said all this stuff, right? They said, oh, he's a rat. All these outlets, all these radio stations, all these people. Let's see if all these people are still going to align themselves with this dude when he gets out, because we know that when he gets out, he's going to go right back to music. I'm sure he probably still got stuff on the charts right now. It's probably not doing as well. But as soon as they say 6ix9ine's released on December 18th, pew, everything is going crazy. Everything is going wild. This guy's back out on the street. We predicted this, SamAnt. So if you ask me, I would say maybe not the whole time, but at some point early on in that relationship, he was an informant sent in to do exactly what he did. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair that all those other guys got time, and he, just because he ratted, is now most likely going to be free on December the 18th. That's what's probably going to happen.
I think he probably began cooperating around the kidnapping. I think I'm on record on one of these shows we did on him and saying that around the time of him getting kidnapped and then them coming to him and approaching him and letting them know, look, we got eyes on you. We know what you're doing. Tread softly. I think he started talking then. And I think he began to cooperate then. And I think it started setting up him knowing that when he tells on everybody involved, he'll get out once everything is said and done because they have it in writing somewhere. I think I just watching all of this kind of develop and speculating on it, and I got to give credit to you because you said it probably a year ago,
right,
during his hot point, or going right as he was going in, but coming right off that wave. We were talking about this, and probably earlier than that. So I'm not surprised. I repeat, I do not, and I disagree with you wholeheartedly, want to see him. Now, I understand why you said that, but one of them dudes that will take it there and are real and probably will do harm to him. And I'm not saying it isn't justifiable, but I'm not wishing any harm on anybody. Those brothers will do time and serve the rest of their lives in prison for this fool, for this clown, for this mother that don't deserve the time and space.
Right.
But it is interesting to see, okay, who's going to align themselves with this dude after running their mouths, calling him this, running or throwing the rats here on the concerts, doing this, doing that. Who's really going to mess with him? Now, let me ask you this real quick before you go in, because I see you chomping at the bit. If anybody even goes back and forth to him on Instagram, are they a part of the circus as well? Do you even give blame to them? Because it's going to happen.
I won't give blame to him. You know what I'm saying? And in that regard, like if he says something, I mean, it'll probably be best to just ignore him because you know what he is at this point. But do you really seriously see him coming out with that same persona again and coming at people and still trolling again? Or do you see him kind of getting back into his music, slightly changing his message up, and maybe still definitely doing a hip hop? What's more likely for 6ix9ine if he gets out December the 18th?
Choice A. He's trolling. He's going at people.
Wow.
He's got people going.
Then he's not going to last too long, I don't think.
Okay.
If that happens, and I think anybody that aligns themselves with them, we know the people that are. I think it's suspect, civilian. You can call yourself what you want to call you, like, you know what I'm saying. I think it's just going to be very suspect. We already know who is. It's easy.
Academics.
Yeah, he's going to be in line with him. Now, do you think though that he will put himself in danger if he aligns himself with this snitch nine, what they're calling right now? Or do you think this is totally separate instances there?
First off, let me say this. What he did with 6ix9ine, we called it early. It was genius. And a lot of people gave criticism to him because he was aligning himself with the artist and getting too close with the artist, being the name and the platform he was in hip hop at the time. One of the go-to platforms where people were going to listen to hip hop, especially the younger generation. A lot of the OGs were giving him criticism for aligning himself with 6ix9ine, but it turned him into an instant star too, and probably made him a ton of money too. And he's not going to mess up his money. And he knows his cash cow was sitting behind bars for a year. Probably one of the reasons why you've seen him kind of slow up. And the second his boy got started again, he got revving up. Not to say that he can't do commentary on a lot of different people, but his money was sitting in jail. He had just came out. He had a couple records and all. Money was starting to get good. And then this shit happened. So do I think that he should be in fear? No, because in my opinion, and this is no one else's opinion, I don't know anything, my opinion, I think he is protected as well. Dang, I think he's okay. And I think he knows he's okay. I think he's going to go about his business and continue to promote his brand and his act and put out records with him and all that, and hear the criticism and hear the nonsense because he's been hearing it for over a decade now, right, and continue to do his thing and make his money.
People that align themselves, I think, with snitches, here's what I want to say. Do you think that we're overblowing this whole situation now? Because oftentimes you look in the comment section, you see people say, I don't care, about, him snitching. Who cares? I'm a civilian. Are we, as journalists and other people out there that do what they do, are we looking too deep in the fact that he went in and actually told on these people? Because we know that a lot of people are going to be forgiven and not even care about that at this point.
All right. So for those people, I'll keep in mind this. Now, on the one aspect, I have to agree with a lot of people that we come from a different era, a different generation where stuff like this would not and could not be tolerated. I don't care what city you were from, what town you were from, what race, religion, creed is particular ours. It wasn't going down.
Right.
This generation is different. It's a whole different vibe. It's a whole different generation now. What else would you said? Were they? I
was just saying. Are we overblown?
Are we overblowing it?
Looking into it too deep?
Are we looking into it too deep? For the people who think a lot of people are looking into it too deep, think about this. This kid ran roughshod over an entire city, major cities all through America for an entire year, causing a lot of nonsense, putting a lot of attention in people's business that had no business to say. They were doing their thing. He caused attention to them through one of his antics. Now, whether or not they are justified because they give, one could say they shouldn't have did it. All right, cool, whatever. Point being, he caused a lot of negative attention. Some of that attention, the people who cared about him, some people who did care about him, even though he got kidnapped and all this stuff, were out here doing things that he was asking him to do that could have got them put away for life. And they did because he told on them.
Right.
And these kids' lives, these brothers' lives, although they may have made mistakes, have to sit behind bars 15, 20 years, multiple people, because of him orchestrating a whole lot of nonsense for mere attention. That could have been your brother, your son, your kid. That ain't cool.
Right.
Damn the snitch. Yeah. Him doing dirt and then putting people away. That's not cool, man.
Yeah, nah, that's a huge point right there. I think a lot of people overlook with this guy, but this whole thing, man, I think, you know, we're gonna wait till December the 18th to give more commentary on this particular situation, but I just think that a lot of people in this industry are going to be hypocritical and still deal with this guy, and we're going to see it, and we're going to talk about it at that point, man.
I've been on record in saying the second he gets out, I really don't want to talk about him anymore. And we're hip hop platforms, and he's going to be in the news, so I know I'm going to have to talk about him sometimes.
Right.
I really don't want to, because I feel like he's a clown. He's corny. And if he does get out based off of what I just said, it's something morally just not right about that. But we'll be here for the slaughter.
Yeah.